Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, this is Best in Slot, and in tonight's video we're going to take a look at the future of Prehistoric Kingdom, the release of the game, what to expect upon release, and a little bit of speculation as to what dinosaurs and other prehistoric creatures may be included at that time. We covered the new launch trailer a few days ago, and on that very same night, the dev team at PK did a live stream talking about the future of the game and stuff like that. They also then very kindly sent me the slides they used, so I've got them all in super good HD quality, so if you missed the stream or you saw it but your internet couldn't keep up with the live stream, that does happen for a lot of people, hopefully you should get to see them in some good quality. So let's take a look at what we can expect when Prehistoric Kingdom launches in early access. I'm assuming, I don't think that's been confirmed, but I'm assuming early access sometime next year. We'll talk about the release date in a little bit. So these are the key features of the launch. Number one, animals, as you would expect. We're going to have 22 adult species. There is an idea to get breeding and babies in the game eventually, but for now, adult species. We're going to have the mini aviary. I believe this is for now also going to be only one species, and that's the Microraptor that we saw in the trailer the other day. And the dinosaurs are going to have somewhat basic AI. We'll get more information on this in a minute as well, but as far as I know, the dinosaurs are basically going to walk around and eat. I don't think there's going to be too much beyond that. They might, might make some calls and stuff like that, but I wouldn't expect, big breakouts and fighting and breeding and stuff like that at early access launch. So, point two. I don't know why I got this furry brush. I never use a furry brush. I'm not happy about it. Creativity. We have fences and paths, of course. We have 150 plus modular pieces. Pretty good for launch. I'm surprised that the building elements of the game are going to be so tightly together already at launch, and it's more the dinosaurs themselves that are going to develop over time. Terraforming, we've seen how that's developed in the devlogs with the water system and stuff like that, and 3 of the maps are going to make it into the early access launch as well, which is pretty cool. I think we can maybe expect this one we're seeing here, this kind of, what would you call it, temperate forest sort of shebang going on. Shebang's a real word, don't look it up. Actually, don't look it up. We can expect this temperate sort of forest, I think, to be one of them, because it is the one featured fairly prominently in the trailer. Not that the trailer means everything. We'll get to that in a minute as well, as I ruin these slideshows. The management, I love the look of this aviary. Doesn't it look really cool? Little Microraptors bounding around there. That's going to be awesome. Anyways, management. Only one staff member at first, and that's going to be the keeper, who we can assume is going to look after your dinosaurs and your prehistoric creatures, basically. In the future, we're going to get myriad other staff members. We've talked about that in past devlogs. I can't quite remember all of them, but I know there's quite a cool staff XP system, and you can specialize your staff members to be really good at specific tasks. It is going to be quite a developed system, but at launch, just don't let the dinosaurs die. Don't know why the accent. Animal and guest welfare, so the dinosaurs, animals, we're going to call them animals. Prehistoric Paleo Fauna, somebody suggested as the name, which of course is what it is, but it's a good name, the Paleo Fauna. So the Paleo Fauna needs looking after. They'll need their water requirements, their privacy requirements, probably their exhibit size requirements, herd sizes, pack sizes, stuff like that, as well as, food and guests. Probably some basic needs, water, food, like a little toy to play with or something in the corner, maybe toilets and stuff like that. We did see those again, the restrooms in the trailer. And that would, guest facilities. Like I said, we saw the Apato Apparel, we saw the Burger Place, we saw T-Rex. Actually, the Burger Place got shut down. We saw T-Rex, we saw the restrooms and resources. Now, I believe the idea behind this is that you have to, and somebody will correct me if I'm inevitably wrong, but I believe the point is you have to ship food into your park. You have to ship dinosaur food into the park. Now whether that's it or not, I don't know. Resources could literally just mean money in this circumstance. And then progression, we have excavations and research. I'm assuming that works essentially the same as Jurassic World Evolution and Jurassic Park, Operation Genesis, and Parkosaurus. Although Parkosaurus did have a little twist on it, which is pretty cool. We'll have to see how that works out, but I think the fundamental gameplay of send out dig teams, get dino bones, research dinosaurs is going to go unchanged forever, essentially, because I don't know how you'd iterate on that at all. Let's move on. So the most important thing, though, what paleofauna are we going to get at launch for Prehistoric Kingdom. Note, by the way, this is launch. This is not the closed alpha, which is going to have a new build later on this year, some point before the end of 2020. Of course, we'll bring you that when we can. But this is the launch for next year. We'll talk about the date in a little bit. But 22 animals at launch. That's a pretty... I hate this fluffy brush. That's a pretty cool number. That is going to more than double by the end. But 22 well-made, beautiful, beautiful paleo faunas at launch. As I say, it is quality over quantity. I think 22 is it's a pretty solid number for an early access launch. You know, a lot of games end up with less than that anyway. JPOG, I think, launched with 25. Was it launched with less than 25 and then it got maxed out at 25? I can't quite remember. Either way, it's a decent number. Of course, we're going to see that develop over time. I think it's going to be quite exciting as well to have this early access game, and then new dinosaurs are going to come out for free. So it's like little free pieces of DLCs. New dinosaurs and new paleo fauna get added to the game. That's going to be really cool. Like they say, once these are in, I think the focus is going to be on the AI of the creatures to give them their more intricate behaviours before the other creatures are added to the game. So they need like a decent size basic roster. But once that's in, get them all as good as possible. Get all the incoming paleo fauna as good as possible. I'm gonna call them animals. Get all the animals as good as possible, and then start to add them in gradually over time. I'm assuming, this is interesting, that Nasutoceratops and Dinokairos, Nasuto and Dino both featured fairly prominently in the trailer. Again, we'll get to that in a minute. But I think we can assume they are likely to be in the launch roster. It's a bit of a confusing situation, I shall see. The mini exhibit is going to make it in, only with the Microraptor for now, but I'm hopeful eventually down the line we'll get a few more prehistoric creatures, a few more animals, as a normal person would say, to get added into those mini exhibits. Just 3 or 4 or 5 of them max. I think people are a little bit hesitant to have tons of them because it feels like it's taking work away from real animals, you know, ones that walk around and have, you know, stuff going on. It's kind of like in Planet Zoo, right, when people release exhibit animals and people are a little disappointed. So there needs to be a good balance. But everyone's excited about the Microraptor, right? So a handful of those would be really cool. And as they say, animation and sound, the goal really is just to make sure the quality of everything is as good as possible at release, and then gradually other things can be developed and added over time. They want to make sure the animals look and sound alive, which they really, really do. So they're doing a good job. Okay, future content TBD, to be decided, to be declared, to be dentists. Anyways, so the idea is this is all the stuff that's going to get added to the game post early access release next year. So, as we said earlier, there are going to be eventually breeding and growth stages. I'm on the wrong bloody layer, aren't I? There we go. Breeding and growth stages, your dinosaurs will be able to breed, your animals, god damn it, will be able to breed with each other, make little baby animals, which will then grow over time. I think it's going to be an ontogeny system, but I don't know for sure. Basically, if you think about Saurian and how your baby Triceratops or your baby Dakota Raptor grows in Saurian, it grows gradually over time from a baby to an adult with no giant jump in between, right? It's quite a difficult system to include, but if you look for comparison again at Planet Zoo, the babies are babies and then they're adults. There's no gradual growth, so it's going to be interesting to see how that goes. But either way, breeding and growth in our Paleo Fauna game, very cool. New behaviours, so this is why I was mentioning it before, but hunting, fleeing and fighting, all not in the game by default, so it does seem your creatures, your animals, will just be wandering around, eating, calling, doing fairly basic stuff. They're not going to be raging, they're not going to be killing each other, or indeed killing us quite yet. Saying that, I'm going to take that back, because right here it says, more challenging breakouts. So maybe breakouts are, that's interesting, more challenging breakouts. What does that mean? I don't know. How do you make a breakout more challenging? I don't know. I don't know what to do with that one, to be honest. Feel free to speculate down below. Maybe your creatures will break out but be unable to eat people. Maybe the system for controlling them will be more advanced in the future and require more steps. Something like that. Weather and disease are also going to be added in our expanded mechanics down the line. The weather system is again really cool and quite complex. It's very exciting. Expanded management, we've kind of already talked about that. Expanded roster, brand new creatures for your kingdom. Again, we're expecting, I think it's I think it's a 50 animal roster in the end. And more, folks. And more. Who knows what more could mean, but it means extra stuff, and stuff is cool. Okay, I've got a few little screenshots here, just off some of these added creatures. So we've got our Dinosaurs. Just really shows just how incredible this fur slash feathery shade it is. I mean, look at, it's a terrifying, bizarre looking creature, as Dinosaurs would be. But look at how all this, oh, bloody layer again. Look at all this feathering and furring is like hanging down off the body. It looks very, very realistic. It's very, very cool. It feels like there's actual gravitational pull on it, and that if we soaked it down, it would be this big sopping doggy mess. It kind of looks like a dog, doesn't it? In a bizarre way. I had a very strange dog. If a dog and a camel and an emu had a very confusing threesome. Anyways, the Dinosaurs looks fantastic, albeit terrifying. We also have the Nasutoceratops, who again we did see in the trailer stomping around a little bit, looking lovely. I don't know, it's just a nice close-up look at the dinosaurs. Not much to add on it. We also have the Microraptor up close as well. I think everyone's favourite part of the trailer, other than Nigel, was probably the reveal of the Microraptors, which is really interesting because people dislike exhibit animals, but this reveal was really exciting. I think it's just the number of them that you get is what's important. Getting that balance between big old creatures and little old creatures is very, very vital. And that is it, folks. Right, so we've got a little bit more, but that's it for the slides. The game is out Q2 2021, so that is February, March, April, May, June 2021. That is 6 months away. Minimum 9 months away maximum for the early access Steam release. As I said before, that is not the closed alpha. So when the closed alpha comes out at some point soon, before the end of the year, I think is the idea, it will not include everything we've seen here today. I don't know how much of what we've seen here today it will include, but we'll have a better idea, of course, nearer the time. Everything I've shown you today is what you'll get if you buy the game in early access in Q2 2021. Now. Just to have a little look, I wanted to see, did we know what the roster was going to be? Like we said, there's going to be 22 prehistoric creatures, 22 animals at the Q2 2020. So here, right, there's going to be 22 animals. I went onto the Discord to have a little look, and they've got a bot, Me6, doing its thing. So these are the confirmed animals for launch, and that is Tyrannosaurus, Triceratops, Lambeosaurus, Styracosaurus, Mammuthus, Smilodon, and Coelodonta. Now we saw all of those. Did we see Triceratops? I think we saw all of those except Triceratops in the. Did we see Triceratops in the trailer? I don't think so. So we saw all of those except the Triceratops in the trailer. I did accidentally call Lambeosaurus Centaurosaurus. I apologise. And what it also says is, this is the important bit, not all species in the trailer will be available on release. So other ones, that's the Dinosaurs, the Nasutoceratops, the Microraptor, the Stegosaurus, a bunch of them. I'll show you this list now. So I don't know who originally made this, but I saw it posted by Ron Perlman's Among Lust. I don't know what to do with that name. Who is one of the moderators on the Prehistoric Kingdom server. So these are our 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 confirmed animals over here. These are all definitely making it. Look at that, lovely stroke. These are all definitely making it into the launch. Now, these were the ones seen in the trailer. Of course, we had a bunch of sauropods as well. We had the Edmontosaurus, Parasaurolophus, Dryosaurus, Protoceratops, Psittacosaurus, blah, 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 blah. A bunch of different dinosaurs. If I had to wager a guess, I would suggest that the Dinosaurs, the Nasutoceratops, and the Microraptor are all very likely to make it into release. Now, there's no guarantees. Like I said, not all of these are going to make it into the trailer, but those three have featured prominently. The Microraptor in particular, well, we know the Microraptor's confirmed, so I don't know why it's saying it's not, because it says down here that the mini exhibit is going to be part of it at launch. So, Microraptor is also confirmed. Maybe they're not counting Microraptor as part of the roster. That'd be interesting. Anyways, so those three I think would be likely. I'd imagine maybe we get one sauropod in the list as well. I'd also say Edmontosaurus is very likely. Edmontosaurus has been all over the place for this game. It's one of the more heavily shown creatures. And in the closed alpha that we played, however long ago it was now, Edmontosaurus was one of only 2 creatures along with the Mammuthus that you could possibly put into the game. So I'd wager that Edmontosaurus has a pretty good shot. But that's interesting. It means some dinosaurs and some Paleo Fauna from this list on the right-hand side are going to make it into launch, because there's 22 of them and there's only 7 there, and then that's 11, maybe 4 or 5 more from the trailer even, but still get 6 or 7 from this list on the right-hand side that we have no idea about. We don't know. Iguanodon was rumoured, but I've seen people on Discord shut that down pretty quickly, so I don't know. I really don't, but it's going to be very, very exciting. There is also a suggestion. If we nip back down here, you can see we have a, what I think is meant to be a Brachiosaurus in the top left, and we also have a Stegosaurus there on the right, and I believe that's our theropod carnivore from the trailer. I can't quite remember. I can't even remember what it's meant to be. I posted it in the bloody video. Either way, I think those are maybe a good bet as well for making it into the game. We'll have to wait and see. Either way, all very exciting. If you want, you can now wishlist Prehistoric Kingdom on Steam. I'm going to link that down below. Go check it out for yourselves. Apologies for all the writing, but you should have had time to screenshots these if you wanted to. But that's it. That's what you're getting next year when the game launches on Steam. I'm really excited. It feels like it's on the verge of happening. You know, there's a lot of work to do, and I'm sure I'd imagine the game's probably going to spend at least 2 years or so in early access, if I had to guess, based on the amount of work to be done. But that's okay. It's really cool seeing them develop and add stuff and grow over time. And most games are worth buying. If you have faith in a game, it's usually worth buying it in early access rather than post-release, because games tend to get more expensive after early access. So like I say, I'll link it down below if you want to wishlist it. If you want to hang back a little bit before wishlisting and tracking it and stuff like that, of course, we'll play the closed alpha later on this year, I think. And yeah, big shout out to the devs for sending me these slides. Really interesting stuff. I'm very excited. Everything's feeling very professional and put together, and I know hype around the game has grown massively since IGN posted the trailer, so yeah, it's all kicking off for Prehistoric Kingdom. Exciting stuff. Hype. Right. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you all have a lovely weekend. I have made it through this entire video without having a coughing fit. Please be very proud of me. And if you did enjoy this video and our continued coverage of Prehistoric Kingdom, please do consider hitting the like button. I will like your face twice as much as I do now. And I already really like it, so, you know, you'll be living a dream. Thanks for joining me. Cheers much as always. Bye-bye.